I feel like I need to say this because of all of the information commentary swirling around Lloyd Austin's whole thing about going into a medical procedure and not telling his boss, anyone in his office, his deputy, that he had complications with it. One of the stances that a lot of people that I agree with that run in my circles have taken is if the administration is willing to lie and cover up all of this surrounding the SecDef, how do you think that makes us feel about the same people covering up and lying about the president and his health? And so a lot of the conservative media is out there saying, well, you're hiding this from the American people. And if you're going to do it with Lloyd Austin, who's to say that you won't do it with Joe Biden? Well, here's the hot take. They should. Regardless of what you think about the president and his policies, I dislike the overwhelming majority of the president's policies. Regardless of what you think, you have to keep in mind and you have to remember that we still operate on a global playing field. We do have diplomatic and also aggressive relationships with other countries around the world. And so that being said, regardless of how I feel about Joe Biden's domestic policy, his foreign policy, if there were to ever be a situation, or even if it's an ongoing situation, where he is completely incapacitated, let's just say ongoing, in the evening, past 5 p.m., Joe Biden is useless. I could think that, and I could talk about that because I want him to lose the next election. But at the same time, it would be extremely important to Homeland Security that the administration doesn't let that out of the bag. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how much I disagree with Joe Biden's policies, both domestic and foreign, the last thing collectively we all want, Republican, Democrat, independent, moderate, hard right, hard left, the last thing we all want is for our adversaries to get definitive information that Joe Biden, past 5 p.m., past 7 p.m., cannot handle a crisis. Or, in the worst case scenario, an attack. We don't want that information to get out, strictly from a Homeland Security standpoint. And so while I think legitimately Joe Biden's brain is addled, I don't think he can handle the job of the presidency now, let alone for another 4 years, I also don't want the administration to leak out all of it. We'll all find out sooner or later, and hopefully we'll learn from our mistakes of putting a houseplant in the White House. But at the end of the day, that should be the decision of the American people. And considering we have bigger interests on the world stage, like keeping our citizens safe, what I don't think the White House should do is detail it in great deal and project that to the rest of the world, giving them the opportunity to capitalize on a weakened U.S. president. I understand that that might be somewhat of a hot take, especially in conservative circles, but as an American, not as a conservative American or a right-leaning American, as an American as a whole, there are some things that the administration should keep from us, specifically being if Joe Biden is so addled that he could not handle or deal with or appoint people to deal with an imminent attack from one of our adversaries.